because there's a lot of noise inside, and just want to make this video quick as possible. And I'm sure I'm going to edit this multiple times, but anyways, this is a video that you can use for your team, your prospects, your members. So, anyways, yeah, I just want to talk about Google, because we all want to, when we do research, not us all, but most of us, when we do quote research, we like to, that means usually Google, right? And so the problem with Google is when you're trying to do real research, the proper research, Google is like a public bathroom wall, so how you can, like, you go to those bathrooms and where people write any crap about anybody, call this person for a good time, this person sucks, or this person, or whatever. It's Google is just like that. You can write anything, any time about any people, any person, any company, any business, any product, any services, and so that's Google for you. And so the thing is, you got to know about the numbers, when it comes to, like, a company that's successful. Like, if you have 100 customers, clients, members in any business, you're going to have 5 or 10% that's going to be just downright negative, that you just cannot please. And then you're going to have some people that will go out of their way to post something negative online, and so most people don't have time to do all that crap, and they're more on the positive side, or just too busy to do stuff like that. But there's some people that just are just so dang negative that they're willing to be almost like cynical in a way, to do stuff like that. Anyways, so you have to understand the numbers of successful companies. Like, so say like DreamTrips, it's you have every 100 new members that come in, there's gonna be 5 or 10 that are just downright negative. Every 1,000, you're gonna have 50 to 100 that's just downright negative. 10,000, you're gonna have 500 to 1,000, and so on and so on. You see, so you can't please everybody. And then these people are willing to go online to post negative crap about your company or service or product and so forth. So so that is what you have to just completely understand. Also, about DreamTrips, the stuff that you're gonna see in DreamTrips, like the negative stuff, that's the old company, under a whole different marketing arm name, and so this is a whole different company with new owners, new management, with the new DreamTrips. It's the whole totally different company. We just adopted DreamTrips, the actual, the travel club membership. So another thing to understand is that when it comes to, and I apologize, if I look kind of dark. I think yeah. Anyways, it's just the lighting and all that. But there's people that will post negative headlines, online, the Google, where it's like, reviews and complaints about, this company, that company, or scam this, scam that, whatever. And so a lot of times, it's people on like Google and YouTube that and I know this is on YouTube, but people will try to draw you in through negativity, because unfortunately, negativity sells. Negative sells. Because of, like, newspapers. People know that when you post negative headlines in a newspaper, that's what people are going to look at first. Like the deaths and obituary and accidents, car accidents, and this, that. That's what attracts attention the most, is negativity. Unfortunately, that's just the way our society is. And so beware of how they try to grab your attention. And once you watch their videos, you see that they'll say something like, "Oh, DreamTrips is actually not a scam. It's a really good company, very successful. It got a couple 100,000 members. But you should really take a look at my travel program. It's a newer company and whatever, blah 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 blah." And they're trying to sell you their crap, but they attract you with a negative headline, and that sucks you in. So beware of that. And a lot of people will make a decision when you see, is such and such a scam, or and like the reviews and complaints about this, and then just by seeing complaint, you think that this company is BS, but it's not really that. It's just that if you look at any successful company out there, Google itself or YouTube itself, Walmart, any company out there that's successful, you're going to see and understand that that they have negative complaints. Anything. Look. I was taking these medications and stuff. Look at any kind of medications. They have slew of complaints and negative reviews. These medications and just any company that's successful, any company that has sold a lot of products and services are going to have lots of negative complaints because there's the more successful they are, the more negative people that they're going to attract. But at the same time, you're going to have probably 90+% satisfied clients and customers and members. But you're going to have those 5 to 10% that you can't control the negativity. They're going to be so downright negative that they're going to post negative crap about your products or services, your business and everything. And then, like I said, especially when it comes to DreamTrips, just remember that the things that you're going to see is about the old DreamTrips, and so the new DreamTrips, we're so doggone new that you don't have any reviews much. I mean, I haven't seen any at all, but they're going to come. Why? Because we're growing and we're building, and so the next 100 members, you're going to have some more 5 or 10 negative people. Remember, 1,000 people, you're going to have 50 to 100 more negative people. 10,000 people, 500 to 1,000 more negative people that you just cannot please. And some of those people that you cannot please will post negative crap online. That you can't change. Okay, so I think I covered most everything that I need to. How long is this? 7 minutes. And let me see if there's anything else. Negative posting online. Yeah, and make sure if you can do real research, do it with the people who introduce you to this. Do it with the people who are running the company, running the show. Do it with people who went on a dream trip or two, who who has done decent with this. Got there for pay no more, within 30 days. Not the people who, and there's these people that will quit, because remember, one of the big things to remember is that majority of our populations are quitters, and the reason why most people fail is because they quit, and the reason why they quit is because they have their feelings hurt. And how do they get their feelings hurt? Is when 2 or 3 people tell them no, or 2 or 3 people say it's a scam, and they're like, oh, you must be right. But just remember this: if you buy people's opinions, you buy their lifestyle. So if they say no and their no affects you, if they call it a scam or call it a fraud or whatever, and then you're going to jail or you're going to hell, and then remember, you're buying their lifestyle. Just remember that. So if you're going to buy the lifestyle, then buy and believe their no's, and then take it and quit. Go ahead. It's up to you. But you have to have a strong why that makes you cry, that will make you not quit. Just remember that. But going back to the buying the lifestyle. Also remember this: there are people that will post negative crap, and their names are like anonymous or John S. or Sean J. or like people that you don't know. It's like why would you buy their opinions when it's all negative and you don't even know them? For God's sakes, a lot of people post their names as anonymous. Why would you trust my name anonymous? Do they have more clout and credibility than me? Than the person that introduced you to this video? Than the owners of DreamTrips? No, they don't. Why would you buy their opinions? Because remember, if you buy their opinions, you buy their lifestyle. And how do you know the lifestyles of people who are posting negative shit? Excuse my language. A lot of people, most people that post crap online, you don't even know. But people that you do know, remember, if they say no and call this whatever, fraud, scam, whatever, you're buying their lifestyle. So just remember that, okay? Just remember, if you're gonna do research, do real research. And real research means talk to me. Talk to the person that brought you onto this video. Talk to our up team, talk to, Jefferson and Makai and, Jordan and Kenny and, Mark and Tammy. Talk to the people who are in the game. Talk to the people who have taken dream trips. Talk to people that has booked $3 and $7 hotels like me, who booked a $110 flight, the day before the trip, when the competition was $200 to $300. and this is a trip that happened like a couple weeks ago, and you know, talk to people who are going on this supercar trip in Vegas, the exotic supercar trips where we're driving Lambos and Ferraris and so forth, and all these other trips that we've been through, the 20th anniversary cruise, the trip that's coming in Croatia, and the other trip that we have in Playa del Carmen, I think this week or next week. You know, these are real trips. You can't, we can't scam people on real trips. When you go on these damn trips, they're real. Like when I booked this hotel, at the Strat for $3, it was real. I stayed there and I checked in and checked out, and wow, this is a real hotel. It's not a scam. $7 at the Rio. It's not a scam. 96% off of Harrah's. Harrah's, 96% off. The competition, hotels.com was 262 bucks for that night, and we were selling for $7. That's not a scam because you can actually stay there like I stayed. There I stayed at Rio, stayed at the Strat. And when I went on my flight, holy cow, this is a real plane. It's a real flight. I'm taking off, and then I landed. Holy cow, it's a real flight. We have real products and services. Luckily our product is the world. You get to see the world. That's our product. That's our service. So we have the real deal, and just remember, when you have the real deal, and then you want to do real research, and this video should help you do just that. All right, thanks for watching, and see you on the beaches of the world, and looking forward to traveling with you and doing business with you worldwide. Let's go, let's grow, let's get it.